Hello, hello, hello. We're back. Oh my god, we're back, dude. Jeez. I don't even know. This might be. I don't even know what I'm doing. This is interesting. So I say I'm back because for me, right. One thing. So one thing. So I think this is gonna be. We're gonna really try to focus. If I'm back into this, I'm back. I might be back into this. I'm not going to get into it. You know what I'm saying? We still, I'm pretty sure, I haven't checked my view count, but I'm pretty sure we're still waiting for the, what did I say? I mean, I've got to get some subs. I've got to get some, it's funny, because like I said, like I'm conditioning the effort. I just don't, I can't, the person, and I want to know, this is the question of the day. How many of you guys, right? How many of you guys would make a YouTube video, like a YouTube channel, totally independent of who watches it, right? So in other words, like, and I want to know because I bet you there are people out there. I remember, back in the early days, right? I used to watch the YouTube videos, and I used to actually like depending on the subject, right? Like if I was looking up something particular, it was probably I would judge whether, whatever subject I'm searching for, I would judge whether I watch it based, to a large extent upon the view count. So the view count, in other words, the view count mattered, right? And you take this for, I mean, this is like a general thing, right? It's sort of like, oh, like who's popular, who's not. And it's funny because I remember like there would be some times where I would click on another person's, sort of channel related to the subject or whatever, and I would see they have like this amazingly edited channel, right? But like they have no views. It was like, and I remember I would be thinking to myself, I'd be like, wow, you did all that effort, but like no one watches your videos, right? And it's interesting but at the same time, because if you really think about it, like that should be the most like awe-inspiring thing. Because why? Because they're doing it, they're like, I don't care. I'm not making these videos for someone. I'm making these videos for me, right? And so it's very interesting. It's interesting to think about that, right? Because I feel like that's the sign of someone who's like, I'm gonna make these videos. I don't care, who watches, who doesn't watch, whatever. I'm gonna put a lot of effort into it because I really care about making a really fine product. And like I said, my hat's off to the people who do that. I wonder though how many people do that. That's my question, right? Like if you are not incentivized in any way, I mean, in other words, like, because I think, to me, right? To me, maybe this is turning out conversational. It's interesting. To me, it was always a matter of like I've never really like found enjoyment. And this gets into, I remember we talked about sort of the idea of like editing, right? Like who likes editing? Maybe there are people who do, but I feel like you would need to like editing if you're going to sort of like put a lot of effort into like, oh, like I'm going to make this channel, make whatever, you can imagine maybe one day, right now, this is 511 thoughts, right? 511 talks, 511 thoughts, whatever. So this is the series where, part of, obviously it's like sort of, yeah, hi, how's it going? Like let's just kind of talk. But maybe one day I'll do like a really good series. I mean I'm still like the lowest technology you can get by like filming on my phone. So it's one of those things. But yeah, I would be curious. I would be curious to know like how many people. I feel like there are some people who. I mean, obviously, like it's a creative endeavor, right? And some of the people, I'll tell you, if I could share this one thing, I felt like this. There's this channel, right? I don't want to. I don't know if I should, because I always feel awkward like giving shout outs because it's sort of like. I don't know, like I used to like pretend to know people, or like I talk about people like as if I know them, but they're like not affiliated with me, and so it's like there's always that sort of like awkwardness. But anyway, but I was just I clicked on the home screen, and the home screen really now, you used to have to search for something. Now you sort of are given well, this, you should like this video, but there was a new genre of YouTube videos. It's like where I just this particular channel, they make they do you're in a bathroom. It's like you're in a bathroom in like 2011 or something. What would you be listening to, right? Like, like you're in the bathroom at like a bar, I guess a club, right? Like what songs would you hear? And so the point is that like, they give you, there's like a still picture of a bathroom, and then there's sort of like, the sort of, hushed, whatever it's, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like it's like the music coming through the door of the bathroom, so you can hear it, but it's not, it's sort of like, through the wall, whatever. And that's the quality, the quality of music. But that's very interesting, right? Like, and that's pretty that was pretty interesting when I saw that. But it's interesting because you think about that, and that channel had like, that concept, that idea, whatever, it was pretty unique. It gets clicked on a lot because it's like, oh wow, that's pretty interesting. And it had like 4 million views. So whatever views mean in terms of, 4 million people watching it, right? Or like whatever, you never know like what the views are like. Because one thing, imagine like, one thing you could think about is that like, you could make the videos, and maybe like if it's like you have this really cool idea, which I'm still working. This is my idea. I'm still working on the good idea. But one thing you would say is that like, well, okay, well, let's have a really cool idea, and then maybe like, nobody knows about it, but the YouTube algorithm decides they like it because it is unique, right? Because it is original, and then bots just kind of make the view count, right? So that's probably that would be another way. In that sense, right? You're sort of rewarded for your sort of, uniqueness, but you're also, no one actually is watching your videos. That's actually maybe ideal, right? Like when we live, so maybe we can think of like a world where, we'll all be making YouTube videos for robots who will sort of interact with us in our own little sort of virtual world, right? It's interesting. I will still be making videos off my camera though. I'm, like 10 years from now, if the view counts still haven't gone up, maybe I'll decide to do some edit. No, I'm just kidding. But one thing, so what I wanted to talk about though, really, not much. I mean, I think update on my life. My life is the exact same way. Like one of the things, like it's, I mean, I feel like I'm always a Debbie Downer, but I am still, still rocking the job, still rocking the kind of messy hair, a little shorter now, still rocking the same, sort of style, everything like that. So yeah, just kind of doing, I mean, another question of the day would be like, how much have you guys, do you guys like incrementally time? Because what I'm really curious about, this is what I'm really curious about, is because like, I'm really, thinking about, sort of like, I've always been fascinated by, sort of how we sort of are thinking. And one question always is sort of the memory of sort of like the flash imagery, right? And it's interesting because, I get flash imagery quite a bit, right? So yesterday was Memorial Day actually. And I went out, right? So I did some exercise, met up with some buddies in the park, and we kind of kicked around the soccer ball. It was pretty fun, but it was, kind of just like me doing stuff. And today, as I was like sort of thinking about it, I would have sort of flashes of imagery from particular snapshots of the thing, right? So we were walking, it was like me and my buddies, we had like, it was a group of 4 of us, and then it was like, we ended up like walking, we parked in one area of the park, and then we had to, walk to the soccer field. And so we had to walk to the, no, but we saw the squirrel, and like my buddy wanted to throw rocks at it, but I wanted to sort of like, I told him I was like doing research with the squirrel. I don't know what I thought, but we tried to like sort of like get it to like eat out of our hand or whatever. I don't know. It was his idea. It was a dumb idea. But when we didn't, it was very scary. Like, I don't know if you guys can like, look at squirrels. It's not very good. But the point, what I'm trying to say is that like, I could see the squirrel. Like looking back at it, I can see a snapshot of the squirrel, but I don't necessarily see it running up the tree, because we like literally like followed it around the tree. It was kind of like weird. But that was interesting, right? And so I'm wondering, like, so I have a couple questions, right? So First of all, I wonder if you guys make videos for robot. Like, you don't care about your view count, right? Would you really invest time into it? I guess like you could treat it like an art project. I need to get the motivation to do that. Second question is, how do you guys see, like, do you guys see your life as a continual change, or do you like not changing? I mean, I think, you know, if you're younger, you're growing, you probably do, you know, think about how much have I grown, right? When I was younger, I would be scared to not grow, right? I would be like, I always wanted to be like the, you know, tallest kid in the class and stuff. It was such a, it was a paranoia because I stopped growing and like people like started getting taller than me. And I didn't like that. Like, I was like, oh, you know, I'm used to like being this, because I've always been like sort of like a when I was younger, I was like a gentle giant. Now I'm just like I don't even know, like a whiny with guy. I'm just kidding. But the point is that like, but I always wanted to sort of like continually sort of grow, right? And I'm wondering if, you know, now we've got to watch that. No, but I'm wondering how you guys feel about that. And then really, I'm wondering about, do you guys get like the sort of flash imagery? Because I bet you like some do, some probably don't. But that is, in my opinion, right? I think that's the most, like, if true, that is the way to sort of most sort of really get at how our minds are like completely different, right? Like we say like aphantasia, you know, I think we talked about that before. Just the way of sort of looking at the world, right? Do you look at the world that it's something that you have to continually progress in, and you can sort of see, like, you think in terms of like continually progressing systems, like when you're driving, you know, if you ever ask someone directions, they're like, oh, you want to go down 2 lights, take a left, you know, go down 3 lights, take a right. Or do you see it in terms of like flash imagery or sort of snapshots of the world? Like you can see the squirrel, it's halfway up the tree, then I can see the squirrel, going up the tree. But yeah, so that's interesting, right? So yeah, and I guess, I don't know if I'm back. I mean, you know, but I didn't drop like 55, you know, what can I, no, I'm just kidding. But I am just saying hi, you know, I got to get to 250, and yeah, hope everybody has a good, it's Side A. All right, let's go.